Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for the episode of Mundus Novus, our Patreon campaign here. This is going to be episode 39. And the title, of course, for this episode is Le Sang de mon sang, which is Blood of My Blood, which is, I feel like, a very fitting title for some reason or a number of reasons. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is by joining us over on Patreon. Link in the description down below. While you're down there clicking on the Patreon link, make sure you click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And with that, let's turn things over to me. That's what we do here. Let's turn things over to me and let's jump right in with some previously on Mundus Novus. Alec, Cyrus, and Martha infiltrated the Abbey and confirmed that Renee, an unsettling child, is possibly Alec's son, as well, and very well could be the figure from Signy's visions. Signy and William separate under the guise of Wyla's injured ankle, freeing Signy to meet with Martha and explore the boys' strange attic bedroom. As the investigators fled with Renee, he answered their questions, explaining that Sister Margot, the Mother Superior, personally guided him in his additional religious studies. Now we pick up on the streets of 1800s New Orleans. 5 investigators, 1 child, all fleeing from nuns, the law, werewolves. Who's to say? Where are you guys? Where are you headed? And what, pray tell, is your plan?
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 I think that's the question on everyone's mind.
What is this P word you are talking about? We don't know what that is. Plans.
I think that's the question on everyone's mind, mostly including the people here on the screen. Is what are you doing?
I think the plan right now is to meet back up at the hotel.
Well, that was the plan. Yeah, that was the plan.
Do we want to go to the hotel though? They're going to be looking for us.
Well, that was the plan, and we're now separated, so we have to work it out from here. I do think if you're willing to start in the scene with Cyrus and Alec and Renee, is that what we decided
Renee is his
the
name.
child's name is? Then I think that Alec has just been filled with adrenaline and has been kind of running a little bit mindlessly here, and I think they've been weaving through alleyways, right? That Alec was aware of from studying maps, and I think as they approach the opening of the alleyway where they can see the hotel is nearby, I think Alec all of a sudden stops and motions for Cyrus to stop as well, and then whistles for gosh, what is the name of my dog? Emerson.
Emerson, yep.
And whistles for Emerson, and then bends down to Renee and says, young sir, I don't know if I've introduced you to my dear friend Emerson. And
I've never can I pet him?
You can pet him, absolutely. There's another thing that I'd like to show you. One way, if you'd like to make friends, is to play with him. And she picks up a stick or a piece of wood that's refuse on the ground, and she throws it down the alleyway. And then she says, Emerson, shh. And Emerson brings the stick back and says, and she grabs it and hands it to Renee.
He takes this and he throws it a short distance and then kind of looks to you almost for confirmation and then says, Emerson, fetch?
Say fetch, yes.
Emerson, fetch. And we see Emerson bound off after the stick.
So having hopefully distracted young Renee in this way, Alex steps aside over to Cyrus and says, I'm not sure that our plan to meet back at the hotel is a good one. It occurs to me, that well, we just kidnapped a child, um, and I do believe that our whereabouts at the hotel are known, um, and certainly they are known by the Mother Superior.
Yeah, I think it would be wise for us to maybe go to the church instead. I agree. I don't think it's good for us to be here at the hotel. Sidebar, is Martha with us or not? I don't recall.
No.
Okay, no. Thanks.
Martha's with Signy, I think. Wait, where is Martha? Martha's with Signy.
Yep,
And then-
Martha is with Signy, and Wyla is with William,
William.
and I believe they're mostly together. Those two groups.
Got it. Split the party, split it again. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Okay. Where was I? I think your introduction of Emerson, I think was a wise one. I think those two will hopefully do well by each other, at least giving you and I a little time to think here.
We might be in a very
don't-
short window. I fear approaching the hotel, but at the same time, this may be our last opportunity to check out and retrieve our belongings. Do you have anything there that you would miss?
Most anything that I'd be missing, I keep on my persons. But all right, why don't we do this? Why don't you and Emerson take Renee to the church? I will gather our things from the hotel and leave a message that we are headed to the church. Well, I'll leave
Let's not-
something a little more vague for our friends. I'll leave a message for them and we'll meet there. Although they can probably be guessing that's where we go if we're
They-
not at the hotel.
I would hope so, but will they know to not say a word? Cyrus, I think we can choose between you collecting our things and you going back to the Abbey,
Or I can just wait for them at the hotel.
or wait for
I-
them here until you see them
Yeah.
and waylay them.
I can be fairly inconspicuous, even though that's particularly in these clothes, maybe. Anyway. I would like to get to change as well. But all right, why don't we do that? Why don't you take Renee and Emerson to the church and I'll collect everyone else and bring them.
All right, we have a plan then.
All
Good
right.
luck to you.
Are
I
you
hope
gonna-
to see you all shortly.
Are you gonna be okay at the church?
I will. I'm not sure any of us are going to be okay here in New Orleans, but I think Sini told us as much already.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, even before we showed up, I think. All right, let's try that. We'll try to get everyone together as quickly as we can and then come up with a new plan.
All right, see you then.
All right, take care. Be careful.
Likewise.
Try to stay out of sight. And Cyrus will head towards the hotel.
Perfect. I think we follow Alec, Emerson, and Renee. As we see Cyrus sort of head out of the alleyways to the streets proper. No one is suspicious of just a man. He's just doing normal things in the mid to late 1800s.
Normal man things.
Normal man things. No one questions man. No one questions guy on road. Alec, a child and a dog. Perhaps we'll see. Alec, how are you getting to the church? San Lumiere, or San Ingles. What are you? Are you like skulking through the back alleys? Are you trying to like remain inconspicuous? Are you just trying to look like you absolutely belong there with this child?
Well, my assumption is that given that we established the truths of these back alleyways in the last
Yeah,
session, and Alec knows their way through those alleyways, that Alec
sure.
would lean in on that system to kind of like move them through. Because Renee is still dressed as like a Catholic schoolboy, I'm guessing.
Correct. Yeah, which
Um,
is like a basically like a little gentleman is how he's
yes,
dressed.
yes.
He's got
So
like not exactly a suit, but definitely like a dress shirt sort of tucked into pants, a white on black, and yeah, he definitely looks a little out of place.
Does
Um,
does he have like like a logo or anything on his outfit? Like does he
no, he does
no,
not.
okay. All right. So he just looks like a little gentleman. So that's like
Yeah,
Alec looks like a gentleman too.
yeah,
So that kind of works. Okay, so Alec is mostly silent on the trip, still very much in their head about what they need to do next and how they're going to keep Renee safe, while also coming to terms with the fact that they are now a criminal, you know. But we'll try, you know, if Renee asks any questions or starts any conversation, we'll try to engage, right, so that things seem comfortable and natural for Renee, who has really no idea what's going on.
sure. Now my question for you is, what is what is Alec's relationship to children? Obviously, you have them in your family, right? But like, as an academic, as someone around books more often than not, what is Alec's experience with children?
I mean, not a lot of great experience with children. I think we saw Cyrus was really representing himself as a patron or not what's fatherly type figure. Like he clearly knows how to deal with children. I don't think Alec has any of that experience, and we already know that Alec is not the best in human interactions with others. I think Alec wants to take care of those who are more vulnerable, and that's why they have leaned in so much with Martha. And then we also see that Alec kind of like stumbles at that, and kind of pushes a little bit too hard and has like a lot of rough edges. So not a
Okay,
lot of experience, and probably is not going to do a great job with Renee. I'll just set that expectation.
love it, love it. So, a follow up to that, given the closeness of your doctoral relative, William, how self aware of that is Alec? Like we know Alec is awkward in conversation to some people, and does not necessarily hone in on the most social cues. But how self aware is Alec of this scenario?
I think Alec's been super self-aware of that and has started to essentially send other party members in whenever a conversation needs to be had, understanding that they have a
Outstanding.
tendency to piss people off more than
Yeah.
like make friends.
Hell yeah. In that case, I would like a roll from you, as you are fairly in your head about this moment, which grant like you did just kidnap a child. And also despite what everyone may or may not know, it might be yours. Which is a lot. That's a lot of things to grapple with. And also might be some weird werewolf witch messiah. All of these things are a lot. There's a lot going
It's a
on.
lot.
Um, I would like I would like an observation roll from you, and I will give you a +1 on this for your own self-awareness.
Observation +1. Cross fingers. 0 successes.
Outstanding. You just as a reminder, it's been a minute since we played. You can push yourself if you like to take a condition and re-roll. But barring that, you oh, go ahead.
I think I might re-roll that. Would I
Okay.
still get the bonus?
You would still get the bonus, and you would just check the condition after you roll.
Okay, so we roll that again, give it a try, cross fingers. Nope. All right.
The dice
Alec,
are telling a story.
the dice tell a story. Alec is frightened. Usually goes
Okay.
angry, but Alec's
Yeah.
frightened.
Valid. Here's what happens. You know that moment when you have a lot of thoughts and you're in a car and then all of a sudden you are at your destination and there's that moment where you think back of you're not really sure how you got there, but you know you definitely got there.
Yep.
You are
That's,
at the church.
yeah.
The thoughts are racing through your mind. I have just stolen a child. Is this my child? I have no proof that this is or is not my child. I have no proof that this is or is not the child in Signy's vision. Am I a well-educated person just arbitrarily taking advice from someone who had a dream? This is crazy. As you walk your way through alleyways, you are not interrupted of your thought. No one stops you. No one converses with you as you quickly and look like you're walking with a purpose. And all of a sudden you appear at the edge of the street on the opposite side of Église Saint-Lumière, a little home away from home. And you see the church raised before you. You see the wrought iron fence, and you sort of, your eyes, the clouds sort of clear, and you realize that you have walked all the way here, have not spoken a word, and nary a word has been spoken to you, as you just sort of appear outside the street on the corner of this where this church is.
Alec blinks and looks around to make sure Renee is there. Is Renee still
He's
there?
standing
Okay.
right beside you, and he kind of looks up to you. Relatively blank slate of a face, just meeting your gaze, almost expectantly, as if you're going to explain something to him.
I would love to show you this lovely church.
Oh, I have only seen one church, so that would be interesting.
Well, let's go inside. Maybe we can do so in a rush. I fear all the sunlight on your skin. Anyway, let's run.
Of
And
course, yes.
They dart out of the alleyway and to the church.
Yeah, and you may or may not notice, Renee has no survival skills, and he just follows what you said, and he runs into a street. No looking left or right. He just runs into the road. As you guys enter the church, I think as you open the double doors, that is where we cut. We cut to the stragglers. So Signy, William, Martha, and Wyla, you have regrouped the four of you, and as far as you know, are headed back to the hotel. What are the four of you doing as you sort of get back together? Some of you have new information. Some of you are missing information. What are the four of you doing as you reappear on the streets of New Orleans?
Well, initially patting ourselves on the back for a well-performed infiltration.
Job well done,
As far as we know, it's like, man, that couldn't have worked out better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Signy just like links her arm through Williams to hold up their little the little ruse they had going on, and they just walk semi-briskly back towards the hotel with Martha and Wyla. And I think William might notice that Signy seems to be fretting a little bit. She's like patting herself on like the arm with her free hand, and she's looking around, and she's like walking a little bit faster, so the arm is kind of like tugging a little bit. I think we need to move faster. Can we move faster, girls?
William will look around, look over his shoulder. I mean, do we notice any pursuit or anything amiss?
No one seems to be. There was a bit of commotion in the actual abbey, but that was likely due to the fire.
Right.
And there was some note of a missing child who had not like gotten out during the fire drill. So there's a bit of a commotion that you guys can kind of hear. That's been dulled by the other side of like a wall that you're on now, combined with like the sound of the street. But it doesn't seem like anyone's like, get them. There's no one actively in pursuit of you as far as you're aware.
Yeah, and then she looks up at William. Cyrus and Alec have made off with our quarry.
What? What?
She looks at Wyla. They found the child, and then they left with the child. Through the way that Martha led them in. Martha, I'm assuming you didn't see them, correct?
Mhm.
So they got out?
Martha is seems like she was just startled out of her own head. She seems very contemplative, especially from Martha, who's not usually very quiet, but she seems to be thinking about something very specific. She's musing on the fact that the benches were so much smaller than she remembers when she grew up in the Abbey.
That's always a mind fuck, you know?
She expected one thing and she just remembered it being so different, and she's thinking.
Hmm.
What? I'm sorry?
When you came out through the cellar, you didn't see Alec, the boy, or Alec, or sorry, Cyrus, Alec, or the boy?
Did I? I don't remember.
Well, they went ahead of us, remember? And we went up to the attic?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that seems right. I think they're headed to the hotel.
Yeah, okay, so as long as you didn't run into them, I think it's safe to say that they made it out in one piece. +1.
I'm sorry. I know what we're doing is weird, right? That's kidnapping, right?
Oh, technically, but this is extenuating circumstances.
Wyla, do you remember the situation that you
Yeah,
were in
I
back
just
in was it Grindstone? No, that's not
yeah,
right.
yeah, it was Grindstone.
It was Grindstone. Uh, this is actually even worse.
Okay, but okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, okay.
And
She looks concerned, but is not in a place to. She's like 14 in a city with like your guardians. So she's like, oh, all right.
She's perfect babysitter age. She can watch
Yeah.
the boy while we solve crimes.
Yeah.
And we found some peculiar things in the attic. According to the boy, that's his room, that's where he lives. Which is weird in and of itself, right, Martha?
Yes. Yes, the boy. Yes, we found a rosary, but it wasn't really a rosary. And she pulls out the rosary that had like the cracked thing that I
Yeah.
think you said. Yeah. What do you make of this?
Yeah, she,
Yeah, you all see dangling a what looks arguably like a rosary. Maybe not the exact same pattern of what is it, 10 beads, one bead. But at the end, where you would expect to see a crucifix, you instead see an oval shape that looks it looks like a like something on the outside, kind of like almost like filigree adjacent, and then like a flat oval circular, an oval shape in the center that looks like it's cracked, like almost like a spiderweb crack. It reminds you of like a cracked mirror.
Very weird.
It is
Well,
weird.
William, you've never seen anything like this?
No.
There was
I
also a
don't.
very disused Bible. Probably hasn't even been touched.
I pull out the Bible and
Did you leave anything behind, Martha?
but behind where?
back in the room. What else did you take?
I don't. What else did I take? Which room?
I think you
The
got some-
attic room or the
Yeah,
hotel
the attic
room?
room.
Oh.
The attic room.
I was gonna say she's got like a steamer trunk.
No,
I don't think
I-
she was carrying that with her.
I have the Bible and I have the opal thing.
Yeah.
Signy
I
has
think
the
That's
toys,
all I
right?
took.
Yeah,
I
one
have
of you
toys.
has pockets full of toys.
Yeah.
Signy.
And she pulls out a little like a toy truck made out of wood and it's like, yeah, I told the young boy. I think she would know. I think she knows his name. I told Renee, that's his name, that I would get his things.
Oh, well, I'm sure he'll be happy to have those. Martha dusts off the Bible and kind of flips through it a little bit. Do I see anything unusual in there? Like, I don't know, any passages circled or
No, you see nothing. In fact, it like the spine cracks as you open this thing.
okay.
Like this is like maybe never used.
Well, it looks brand new. That's a little weird, especially if they were focusing on religious studies.
I think we should get back to the hotel as quickly as we can.
Well, sounds like a plan to me.
So I think they just walk quickly back.
Yeah, I think we cut to the inside of the hotel. Where do we find Cyrus in there?
So when Cyrus will head into the hotel, he immediately goes up to his room. He changes as quickly as he can into his kind of normal garb, his loose clothing and his duster, and changes his shoes, of course, and then knowing that he considers trying to grab other folks' belongings, but he remembers that he has all of Alec's books that she dumped on him, and he's carrying around anyway. So it's like, oh, I guess I got everything I need. Although he may need to grab William's medical kit. I'm assuming he didn't have that with him when we went anywhere else. Well, actually, never mind. It's fine. He so basically he changes quickly and then he heads back down to the lobby area.
Mhm.
Trying to think it would be better. Yeah, is there a I know there's a bar, a bar slash like restaurant, something.
Yep.
Is
There's like
there,
an open waiting area.
yeah, is there a I'm essentially Cyrus is gonna try to evaluate whether he can remain the most unseen and unconspicuous by sitting in a parlor and kind of watching the door for the others to come in, or in the waiting area. But if there's nowhere to kind of really kind of blend and just kind of be really in the background, then he will then he would go across the street from the hotel and just kind of blend in on the street. So kind of whichever would make more sense to him.
I think it's a fairly busy hotel. A lot of people moving in and out, right? There's a large lobby with like couches and chairs. Not to mention, like off to the side, there is the bar slash restaurant. So I think there's a lot of people in here, and no one's really paying attention to you. At the same time, you don't really look like unless like you're covered in blood or like anything weird or like just having a rifle. So like you look fairly normal here. You kind of blend in, and no one's really paying attention to you. So you can kind of find like a table off to the side, get a glass of whatever you'd like, and just sort of sit off to the side waiting for the group. And I think it's only given like the walk time and how long it took them to get out of the Abbey compared to how you guys got out of the Abbey, it's only a few minutes, right? That you're waiting, maybe 10 or so minutes as you're just being inconspicuous in general. And you would see Signy, William, I assume at this point probably no longer arm in arm, Martha and Wyla, all kind of rounding the corner and approaching the awning to the Hotel Nouveau as they walk in. I assume expecting to see you and Alec and a strange child. So you would see them first, Cyrus, because you're actively looking at the door.
Yeah. So Cyrus will get up, kind of and kind of casually wander over to try to not so much grab their attention, but just kind of turn to walk with them. And he'll walk up next to William and Signy, and then say, "Glad you all made it out all right."
Everything went swimmingly on our end. Where's Alec?
Alec, we didn't feel the hotel was a safe place to be, so Alec took Emerson and young Renee there to our other location here in New Orleans, and we should go meet them very, very quickly, because it's possible we felt that the hotel, our association with this hotel is compromised, but it's depending on how much we've been watched, it is possible the church is also compromised, so we need to move quickly. But it seemed less likely that was a problem. We already know that they know where we're at here, so I'm gonna go right now. If the rest of you have things that you need, get them quickly and meet us at the church.
She glances at Martha.
Well, I'm not
Who
leaving my
traveled with
trunk of everything. I have parasols and corsets
I
and
know.
at least one ball gown in there.
Well, I don't know that we're leaving the city, so I'm just saying that we shouldn't stay here right now. So do as you
we're
will,
not-
and
Okay,
then
so we're
Alec,
not checking out then.
Let's make sure our rooms are paid up for a few days at least, and we can disappear.
Mhm.
Worst case, we can pay somebody to come in and get our stuff. William's got everything he needs. He carries his bag with him, his med bag everywhere. So
I
that's-
guess I could leave it for a little bit, just as long as you are certain nobody's going to take my favorite ball gown.
sure you don't want to go grab an extra parasol just in case?
You might want to bring a change of clothes other than your habit.
Oh God, are you still dressed as a nun?
Of course.
Oh, yeah. You might want to sneak into your room and change. A little less conspicuous.
All right. I will. I'm like, that's probably a good idea. So I run up quickly and change into something that I imagine will blend in.
as Cyrus sees Martha head
Regular clothes.
Yeah.
A
Well,
parasol and a
and
ball gown. That's
only
very
has
conspicuous.
some sequins on it.
Right, of course. Only one giant bow.
Yeah.
as Cyrus sees Martha kind of decide she needs a change, then he'll just turn to the others and just say, "Meet us there," and he'll just turn on his heel and head right out the door, and he will head to the church. He's very concerned about Alec being essentially by herself at the church, so he's gonna hurry.
Signy and William, you see this very curt exit from Cyrus. Are the two of you staying? Are both of you staying here at the hotel waiting for Martha, or is one of you heading there with Cyrus? Just so I know.
Well, Signy would probably want to grab something as well, just some
Sure.
generic thing.
Okay.
I guess.
So hang on, William
Like
will
your gun?
probably, because he's
Yeah.
got his bag and he doesn't really care about anything else.
Yeah.
He will probably go with Cyrus because he is a little anxious to meet this kid.
Okay. Okay. So Cyrus, you offer your curt exit here, and you begin to walk out, and you hear the footfalls behind you as William catches up. The two of you exit the hotel, leaving Signy, Martha, and Wyla to gather their things and meet you back there. And I think that with that, we'll follow William and Cyrus out of the hotel. As you guys leave the hotel, make your way to the the corner of the street, and turn down this. Is there anything, any kind of conversation happening between the two of you? Cyrus, you were there for a little bit more. You're more aware of what happened in the church than what William is. Does any conversation happen as you make your way to Saint Lumiere?
Yeah, I think so. Cyrus, as William catches up and as we start to walk briskly together, Cyrus will say, "I'm glad you all got out of there relatively safely. It looks like. What do you know? What do you know about what we've done?"
What would he know? Well, no, I mean, he knew what we were going for. So, I mean, obviously there wasn't a fire.
No, not a fire.
How is the child? Everything okay?
Well, the child seems well enough. It's a bit of an odd child, of course, aren't they all? But
We talked about. I was perfectly normal.
Yeah.
I will say when there's a lot of signs connecting him to this ritual that we know is upcoming. So that in itself was reason to take notice. But I think what will really strike you when you see the boy is his resemblance to Alec. There is almost certainly some relation there.
When he says that, William will kind of like not quite trip, but like, stutter step, and catches, and he'll non-committally just kind of grunt. Okay.
They're
Not say, and like literally not even look at Cyrus, just keep eyes forward.
So don't be too surprised when you see him. And I think it's that resemblance that motivated Alec to maybe act more rashly than Alec normally does. She immediately said, "We have to get this child out." So we did. And then everything after that kind of pointed to, and everything that the child has said so far about his time at the Abbey and the Mother Superior that apparently is teaching him, if we want to call it that. There's something very, very odd and off there. It definitely
what?
definitely
Wait, hang on.
sends
Odd teachings? What odd teachings?
He said a couple of things that were not very churchly. I'll put it that way. Certainly not the Catholic that I was used to growing up. So I haven't probed too much, but there's something definitely off there.
Like off as in what we're here for? Or off as in
Yeah, off
crazy
in
Catholic abuse weirdness. Okay.
No, off into what we're here for. So, and
Well, then thank God we got him out there.
And the fact that she was keeping the boys separate in the attic from the other children, I mean, that's a whole nother level of potential abuse in its own right. But
yes, but better than a cupboard under the stairs or something like that.
Well, only barely. So let's go. That's why I want to make haste here. Our opponent here definitely has information about us, and we need to stay one step ahead. So
I agree, and I am What was
I don't know if anyone else heard that, but that was the
Oh,
sound
yes.
of a herd of elephants running across my ceiling. That's my 30-pound 4-year-old.
Quick,
Oh,
William,
we-
I think we're being chased.
that or there's a contractor back on the wall nearby. Oh God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, let's let's make hay. I'm eager to meet this child. And he didn't say anything more than that, and you'll increase his pace.
Okay. My question for Signy and Martha: does anything of consequence happen back at the hotel, or do we cut to where everyone has arrived at the church?
Well, Signy would just go into her room, look around, and I think initially she was like, "Oh, I'll grab some things," but then I think she just ends up like walking in a circle, and then she just grabs her guns or her revolver, and puts it in her pocket. And then it was just, I'm assuming Wyla will want to change as well because she was dressed up. So it's just a matter of waiting for the two ladies to join.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I think then we cut right to the we cut right to the church itself as Cyrus and William are the first to arrive. Alec, where do they find you? What are you doing? And what is Renee doing with you?
So I think we can. I'm just going to use erudite every session now that I've learned how to use erudite. So I think that Alec has learned that in New Orleans, the churches don't build basements because the water tables are too high.
Correct.
Instead, they have hidden away precious records to keep them safe up in hidden attics. And so when Alec gets to the church, as he's leading Renee around and showing him things, Alec will be looking for that hidden attic entrance and hopefully find it.
Ooh, interesting use of erudite, seeing as how we have very thoroughly explored this place. Yeah, I think, I think there will be an attic, right? But there may not be things in there. But the existence of the attic is for sure. And you kind of know there's like there was like the small like bell tower. So you kind of find your way up to a not exactly hidden, but like very difficult to access. Like a small ladder inside of like a closet or a smaller room that doesn't typically have access to it. And so you do find, and it is one of those like bare bones attics, right, where it is mostly just the rafters. It's also very warm in here, but it's just the rafters, and there are like a couple of boards that run the length of the church, sort of like forming like a bridge to walk across the rafters inside this place. It's not completely like floored over, but there will be you will see evidence of like a grouping of boards here, which is where like boxes would have been. But the whole place does not have itself a floor in the way that like his bedroom did. But you do find an attic.
So I'm hoping, so floorless, or partially floorless as it is, I'm hoping, for a room that has like a never-ending story attic kind of vibe, some, dusty light, filtering through. And if you say there are boxes, then, Alec would initiate some hide and seek, showing, Renee how to, leap across the floorboards that are lava, right? And
Of course.
and then it'll be Renee's turn to hide first.
So I think I think at that time, like William and Cyrus come in, and the noise we heard here was actually preemptive.
There we go.
The sound of leaping. You hear loud bangs and thuds coming from the ceiling as you guys enter into the church itself. Strange, you've never heard these sounds before. And I will say for Alec, it is very much that, like, there's maybe like a few like old tattered boxes, maybe like an old open empty steamer trunk. And I want to say there's going to be like one stained glass sort of mural style mirror that's the filtering like a different, like a rainbow effect of light into this room. So you have like a beam of light, and the rest is sort of dingy, and like you see the dust particles sort of floating, especially as you initiate some play up here. But William and Cyrus, you hear loud banging and thuds coming from the ceiling.
Mike, can we I guess roll back just like 5 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
As we get close to the church, Cyrus will turn to William and just say, please go ahead into the church, and I'm going to keep, I'll follow behind you in just a couple of minutes. I just want to see if anybody seems to be either following us or watching us. And so he'll kind of blend in to one of the either side alley or something, whatever, half a block away. And as William enters the church, then he will just kind of very like take a look to see if anybody seems to be watching him, if anybody seems to be paying attention to what we're doing, or what he's doing, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me vigilance.
Vigilance. All right. Let's do some vigilance.
Oh yeah. You sort of blend into like the crowds, the shadows, etc. And you're watching like a hawk, right? For any sort of any semblance of anyone out of place, anyone whose look lingers longer than you think it should. And I think, given this, there is a moment that you are walking, you're kind of like walking with the crowd and sort of looking, or you kind of hide behind like in an alleyway, and you peek out, and you see that there is probably about a block, maybe 2 blocks away, at the corner, where there is a like a lamppost with a street sign on there. You see that there are 2 people that are essentially doing the same thing as you. They look like they're blending in, but there's something about it that you're watching them, and they're like kind of conversing and tittering back and forth, and then they like do a loop of something, but they keep coming back. So anyone else would notice that they just sort of like move around with the crowd, but you see them like making a crossing the road, and then the other road, and then the other road, and coming back in a square. No one else is really paying attention, but you find that as strange. And every once in a while, when they complete whatever their route is, you'll see them sort of, one or the other will look down the road in the direction of the church. They look completely normal. They're in regular like street clothes. They look like they would blend in with any other a person who's living in New Orleans or any other tourist. Nothing about them really stands out except the actions that you're specifically looking for. So you think either someone was watching the 2 of you as you got here, or someone is watching the direction of the church to see who comes and goes to the church itself.
Got it. Would more successes give me anything additional? Because
what else are you looking for?
Well, I don't know. I think that's probably plenty. Like
yeah.
That's exactly what I was looking for. I just I have a bonus.
Nothing about them stands. Nothing about them stands out like specifically. Here's what I'll say: with the additional success, you're fairly confident that if you saw them again, you'd identify them.
Got it. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I get an additional bonus to vigilance if I'm hunting prey, which this is. So I was like, maybe, but if it doesn't matter, it's cool.
Yeah, I think one success gets you what you want. You spot them. I think the second success is you can identify them should you see them again.
Perfect. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, then Cyrus will then actually circle around and uh is there a way to approach a church from the back? Because there are church grounds in the back.
Yeah,
if I remember
absolutely.
correctly.
Yeah, you can sort of
Yeah.
circle around through a back alleyway, sort of hop the fence, like you have like a low-lying fence there. Hop that and sort of climb in through, because there's a graveyard to the side of that. You guys can hop in through that way and climb in.
So he'll go in that way, and then enter in. But that gives William probably at least 5 or 10 minutes inside the church.
Yeah. So William, you're the first to enter, and you hear the noises of banging and thumping in the ceiling. What do you
When I
do?
said, do I see anybody else when we step into the church? Where is everybody?
No, you see dust occasionally. You'll hear like a thud, and then like dust will fall from the ceiling. But you see no one else. I would imagine you would see Emerson is sort of lazily laying in a beam of sun. And he like lifts his head up, and there's sort of that like, and then he flops his head back down.
Just like my dogs when they're annoyed when I walk into the room when they're napping.
Yeah, you've disturbed their existence. How dare you?
So seeing Emerson, everything's okay, because if something untoward was going on, obviously Emerson wouldn't be so relaxed. He'll shout out for Alec.
Yeah. I think Alec, you hear the shout come from beneath the boards in the actual church proper.
Well, I haven't found you yet, but give me one more moment. One more moment. I'll see what that's about, and then I'll be right back at it. I'll be right back at it.
Alec,
then-
you note that again, your time entertaining children is sparse, right? But you've read books. Children are wont to have flights of whimsy and fancy and be jovial. Renee is exceptionally good at hide and seek, given that he doesn't make a sound. At no point is there like a "I'm coming for you" and then like a childish giggle. He has understood the rules to a degree that is, to a normal person, might be alarming. But he quietly finds a place to hide and then remains quietly hidden until such time as he is found. Which, not a lot of places to hide up here in the attic, so not a huge challenge for you. But you do note that there is no, like, there's, in between the moments where you say, go hide, and you find him, there is little to no, like, whimsy or mirth in that moment until you find him and he goes ha and then like finds a new place to hide. It's even you are taken aback by this. Feels off a little bit as you descend the ladder to find William standing there with Emerson.
William, what are you doing? Shouting, and Alec's eyes are darting all around. Did anyone follow you here?
No, and he will like glance up at the ceiling where all the banging was coming, the dust is coming down, and basically give the 1800s version of the fuck.
Yeah.
The boy, did you run into Cyrus?
Yeah, he'll be or by shortly. He's just a few minutes behind me.
Did he tell you about the boy?
He said you found him.
He's 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 above. We're playing a game of hide and seek. Would you like to meet him?
Yes. Are you okay?
I fear we've been followed. I don't think we can stay here long, but I'm hoping that this game will keep us all quiet.
We failed on the quiet part. Then I heard you guys banging upstairs. So
Well,
if quiet is the goal, then
he's tucked away now. He really is quiet once well, before you discover him. You'll see. He's a good boy.
how old is he? Like 7?
5.
5. Okay. Yeah, he's not gonna be quiet for long. Okay. Let's go upstairs.
So they'll ascend the stairs, and then Alec will announce, come out, wherever you are," and then we'll start looking.
Yeah, so same question for you, William. What is William's experience with children?
Hmm. I think he has limited experience, but because he is significantly more relaxed than he used to be, I think he'll just kind of take it in stride, especially knowing that this is obviously a relation. As soon as like other people's kids, they need
Yeah.
to stay away. But family is still family, which is one of the reasons why he's, always just been with Alec and, glommed on to just doing whatever the hell Alec tells him to do. So he has a different regard for that. Especially family that's not like after him for not like following in the family footsteps and stuff like that.
Of course.
Which is first campaign. Anyway, yeah, he's actually rather positively anxious to meet this kid.
Yeah.
And kids are general, so it doesn't matter. This is somebody he's known about but never actually I assume he's actually never met.
Yeah, no one's ever met.
Child, right?
No one's met. Yeah, so I think you climb up the ladder here into the attic, and Alec does announce, come out wherever you are, the appropriate response to hide and seek when you have not been found. And you just see a small boy in a white button-down shirt, black slacks, just sort of like quietly emerge out from behind a box, and approach like the center board corridor of the attic, and just very like kind of like nonchalant, little bit demure, just says, "Hello."
Young Renee, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. William.
"Hi, doctor. My name is Renee."
Well, hello there. He'll approach him and kind of crouch down, get down to eye level with him. See if he comes out from his, like go halfway to the room and crouch down and see if the kid comes out.
He just stands there. You don't think he like you're looking at him and you've gotten into like the Freud of things, right? He doesn't look like he's afraid or hesitant. He looks more like he's waiting. Like the same kind of waiting as like you and I would know as like waiting for the bus. He's just waiting for the next thing to happen. He just sort of stands there almost expectantly looking at you.
Okay. Well, come here. Let's have a look at you.
Okay. And he just walks down the boards to you, and just sort of stands maybe a foot in front of you.
He'll give him a once over. I know he was kind of held prisoner there, but not like he doesn't know that. I don't think he was much of a prisoner there. So no bruising, no signs of trauma, no.
Yeah, you give him a look, and no need for a medical roll for this. I think you know exactly what you're looking for, right? And there's no there is no visible bruising on like any part of him that is currently exposed, right? He also doesn't seem like shy. He doesn't like shy away from like if you kind of like reach out for him, he doesn't like wince. There's no signs of anything. I don't think no one mentioned that he is a little bit bullied by the other kids, but nothing seems like nothing untoward seems to have been going on there at the Abbey. He seems fine, maybe a little bit of a weird kid, but he seems fine. He doesn't shy away from you at all, and he says, "Are you part of the field trip?"
I'm just a doctor. I'm making sure that everybody is okay and healthy. Primarily, I was actually worried more like, were they drugging him? Was he like being forced compliant for things?
Yeah,
see
you
any
look him
eyes
over.
red or anything. Yeah, okay.
There's no like scratches. There's no there's nothing underneath his fingernails. You don't see his pupils are normal. Everything about this kid seems normal from a medical standpoint. He just seems a little weird for a 5-year-old.
So knuckle, the typical knuckle ruler inflicted bruises. That would be kind of
You would see those, as you did see.
This was a Catholic monastery.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God,
would
I'm pretty
see
sure
you
they're
would see
there.
the expected wounds and bruises, but nothing additional to what you're not looking for. Like there's not like hand grips on his arm. There's nothing like scratches and scrapes on his body in places where they shouldn't be. Like his let me see, it's November. Yeah, so he's in long pants. But you wouldn't see any like the normal scratches on the knees of a child who plays on his knees. But nothing unseemly about it. Everything seems normal physically about this child.
Yeah. So he'll look him over side to side. And he'll actually dig into his bag, and he's going to pull out an extra just like a hemostat, and give him just here. Why don't you play this? Look cool. It's he can like grip and lock things with it. And he'll show him how it works. I'm going to talk to Alec for a moment, and you go ahead and mess around with that for a little bit. Let's go. Just
Okay.
don't pinch yourself with it. It'll hurt, but
Okay, thank
it's
you.
fun to play with. It's like a fidget
And you
toy.
see he like turns away and goes back to like the box he was hiding at, and begins playing with this hemostat.
Okay. Once he steps away, he'll turn back around to Alec and be like, "What the hell are we doing next?"
Alec is close to the window and has been keeping an eye out on the street. I don't know, William. We hadn't planned for anything like this. I don't think that any place in the city is safe for us right now.
Well, then we leave. Forget werewolves, witches, and I'm sorry, the lady who brought us down here. I forgot her name.
Madeline Boudreau.
Madame Boudreau. We need to get him out of here.
We do. We need to get ourselves out of here. I feel that we're well way under our or over our heads with all of this. We need to get away, and we need to make sure that Renee is safe, and from somewhere safe, we need to make a better plan. I don't know how we can stand up against an entire contingent of witches and warlocks, witches and werewolves who are working together to do what? To bring some sort of evil entity into the world? It is far more than anything that we've faced before. And there's Signy's dream,
I just think everything takes a secondary priority to keeping him safe. We need to get him home. We can't take him to
Home?
my parents, and we can't
Yeah.
take him to your parents, but I
There's-
mean, we got to get him
there's-
out of here.
Well, absolutely. And where was that? Where's that, William?
I-
Where is safe?
I don't know.
Maybe Cyrus. No. Not
Actually, you know what? Here's a thought. So separate sidebar, whatever. Like we know there's a resemblance between the child and Alec. Alec and William are related. They're first cousins. How much of a resemblance is there between them? Like, does the child resemble William at all?
I mean, in the sense that like if you said that the child was related to you, no one would like scrutinize you too much. But like you see like familial traits, right? Like perhaps it is like Alec's nose, right? There's like I know like I have like the end of my nose has like a little bit of a ball, and my mother has the same thing, and my grandfather had the same thing. So like a similar trait such as that, right? Disconnected earlobes, right? Traits that you and Alec have in common, obviously separated by a space of a bloodline, but no one would deny you that like this kid is your cousin or this kid is a relative. No one would be like, really, sir, are you sure?
I was thinking more along the lines of, could we pass off this child as my child rather than Alex being more socially acceptable for me to be having a bastard child out of wedlock versus Alec.
I think given yes, I think given like your like outsiders wouldn't question it whatsoever. But I think given your strange place in the familial hierarchy, in that like you sort of went into a family possession or a family profession, and then went a different path with the military, and then sort of dropped out of all of that, and so you're not like the highest ranking in the family order in the pecking order. I think they wouldn't put it past you for having a bastard. That's sellable to the family, and then anyone outside the family wouldn't really question it. So I think yes, the kid could pass as yours.
Because I know like my parents would be like William's parents would be thrilled that he let alone had a relationship, let alone grandchildren,
Let alone a
great.
child. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Because
I don't think
he's had
anyone
like
would
zero interest in any of that for his whole life. So
Yeah, I don't think anyone would look too deeply into this for one reason or another. It's a believable thing that you could have, in your travels, produced a bastard. The people that want you to have children would be just happy that you said you are claiming a child. And there's enough resemblance that anyone could like look and be like, oh, okay, I could see it.
this is a good way to eventually keep the child safe. Or, as we try and get the hell out of here, it seems an easier lie to tell than to try and come up with something else as a reason for this child to be in our group.
Yeah,
William,
I think.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think it's reasonable.
Okay.
I have no idea what sort of home we could take him to, and I don't think that any of our friends have a safe home either. We could return to the headquarters, perhaps.
If you wish to continue this investigative journey that you have dragged me kicking and screaming into, a child is not something we can just tag along. We cannot just leave with the butler. I wonder if you would be amenable to this plan. We tell my parents that it's mine. That he, rather, is mine, not it. Sorry. We could send him to Philadelphia, and they could watch over him. I would take him. I would claim him as mine.
That's very kind and generous of you, but I'm not sure even that is safe. The Mother Superior, I think, must be involved in this whole scenario. There's a chance that this child is somehow involved in the ceremony that is going to happen in how long? 2 days, Mike? 1 day?
I believe it's a little over a day at this point.
In the next day, if this is that child, and well, she certainly knows who the parents are of this child, or who the parent is of the child. She knows me. Do we have confidence that she could not trace the child to you?
Well, I mean, the diocese here certainly couldn't reach all the way up to Philadelphia. And even if it did, my parents drifted away from that ages ago, thankfully. So they have no affiliation with the church anymore. I never did. So
your proposal is that we leave from here as soon as possible, take a train perhaps up to Philadelphia?
I think the child's safety is more important than anything going on down here. I mean, let the city burn. Don't you care more about him?
I I'm not arguing with you, William. I appreciate everything. This is a far more direction than I had before. I'm seeking clarity. I don't know what to do. And then Alec unexpectedly gives William a hug.
William will throw his arms at his side, being like, okay. not his thing, but okay. Yeah. He'll return it as best he can. We should also be very happy that William gave him like a hemostat and not a fucking scalpel to go play with, because he could have easily gone that way too.
He'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. I think in this somber moment, I think we cut back outside as we see, given the amount of time that it took for Cyrus to sort of establish himself and find what he was looking for. I think time has passed, and you've continued to watch this this couple at the corner there, and one is male, one is female. It kind of blends in with the like tourist couple sort of vibe. And I think as you watch, you see as Signy and Martha and Wyla sort of round the corner, unaware of who they're walking by. As you kind of they walk into your eye line as they turn to head down. And I think this is as you're kind of like crossing the road to like hop the back fence and kind of sneak back in as you see the three of them approaching. Do you flag them down at all, Cyrus, or what do you do with as they approach?
No, he sees them. He sees them heading towards the church, and I mean, they've already seen Alex and William go in, so seeing the rest of the group go in he's not that concerned. So largely he's going around the back now just to make sure that the back is not being watched as well. Right.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna continue doing what he planned on doing, circling and going in through the back, and then he'll meet everybody inside.
Okay.
Assuming that he doesn't catch any other eyes on the backside.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you for a stealth, Cyrus, and then I'm gonna ask. I think given your PI nature in general, Signy, I'm gonna ask you for a vigilance.
Stealth it is.
Am I involved in this situation or no?
What?
If I'm not involved in the situation, I get +2 with my eagle eye.
I guess not. I guess you're not directly involved in. Yeah, I would say no. You're not technically involved in Cyrus skulking.
1 success.
Okay.
1 for me.
Okay, Cyrus, you evade any sort of look from the people you were watching. They don't see you slip around the corner. But Signy, you as someone who's watching out for, probably mostly the police, given that there's been a kidnapping, you do catch Cyrus like hopping a fence behind the church, which, given the current scenario, doesn't necessarily strike you as weird. It just strikes you as something to note that he did hop the back fence, essentially behind the church as you approach. By the time you're there, he's already hopped. I'll say, Cyrus, you're already inside by the time Signy, Martha, and Wyla even get to the church. But Signy, you do note that. Cyrus, as you walk in, you see the same Emerson in a sunbeam just sort of looks up to you, gives you a little and then plops his jowls back down on the floor and continues his rest through some bleary eyes. And you can kind of hear like muffled. The cadence does sound a little bit like speech, right? So I think you can hear like the muffled talking in the ceiling. So you know there are people up there. What are you doing as you enter? Are you just sort of hanging out, or are you trying to find them?
I think he'll pet Emerson on the head as he lays there, knowing that that Martha, Signy, Wyla are about there anyway, so he'll just wait for them before and yeah, he'll just wait for them.
Okay. Cool. Then moments pass, and Signy, how do you approach the church?
Normally, I guess.
Okay, great. Yeah, you enter the front door. You see Cyrus's.
Before we enter,
Yes.
on our way there, she would have grabbed a daily newspaper from a boy from the newsie.
Yeah.
Okay, and then as they're walking like through the graveyard towards the door of the church, go on, girls, and she steps to the side and she's gonna go to the prayer. What would we call it? The donation box.
Yeah.
That we hid behind the gravestone, and
Yep.
I want to make sure that what's her nuts picked up that hex bag.
Has she had time?
It was last night that we told her.
Then yeah, I think she has had time. In that case, yeah, you go there, you check that out, and it is missing as you expect it to be.
Okay, perfect. And then she will go inside.
And that is the bag from the restaurant, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The one with the weird animal bones in it.
Yep.
I think
then
she was going to leave us a message or something if she found anything interesting. In the
she
same
has
box.
to look it over beforehand. But yes, you head in, newspaper under the arm, and you see Cyrus, Martha, Wyla, Emerson on the floor. The four of you, three and an NPC, have reunited, and I think Alec and William, you can kind of hear the door close and open several times below, and you can kind of make the assumption that the rest of your group has regathered.
Well, I think Alec also would have seen out the window, right? Because that's.
Well, I think at this point, this is when you're like conversing with with William, and they all kind of came in at the same time as your familial embrace. So you would hear the door open, close, open, close, open, close, 3 times in not quick succession, but fairly back to back.
Alec will say very quietly, "Thank you, William. I guess we should go now and make our next plans."
Absolutely. Should we bring the boy down or leave him here?
I'd much rather leave him here until we know what we're doing.
William will wander over to the boy who is probably like stabbing things with his dad, and said, 2 of us are going downstairs briefly. We'll just be right down the stairs. You go ahead and hang out here and have fun. We'll be right back up, okay?
William, go ahead and roll me observation, or I think observation. Roll me observation.
Oh.
Wow,
William,
very observant.
William, you are a doctor. You absolutely have seen some things and done some things. You absolutely keep your wits about you in this moment, right? You move over and perhaps resume that sort of like half squat to be at like child level as you say, "Hey, we're going downstairs." You complete your sentence as nonchalantly as you intended to. You cannot help but notice that there are no less than 5 spiders that have been, all of the legs have been removed with the hemostat, and have been neatly placed in a row. Like spider body, all 8 of its legs, another one, all 8 of its legs, as if it was done like almost medically, almost like as a the way you would take apart a pocket watch and place things out to make sure you can put it back together. So you see that as you approach Renee and have this conversation, and you make it through whatever you're going to say without any sort of hesitation. You just absolutely note that strange behavior.
I mean, it's future dot coroner, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
It's very. I mean, to women, it would appear very scientific and organized and well done. It's like doing an autopsy.
Yeah.
You dissect the frog and you pin everything back.
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
there's the liver, and okay,
it-
let's take out the pancreas and.
Perfectly reasonable for a college student, less so for a 5-year-old. But
He could
definitely
be a genius, you don't know.
That's true. We have not established that aspect yet. But you do note that, and he sort of looks to you and says, "Okay, thank you." And he goes back to playing with the hemostat, unless you take it from him.
Nope. Just really
okay.
glad I didn't give him the scalpel instead.
Yeah. And the two of you proceed down the ladder and rejoin your companions in the body of the church.
So the first thing, as the two of them come down, the first thing that Cyrus will note is he'll just I guess he'll look at Alec. Where's the boy? Still in the attic?
Yeah, Alec just gestures with his finger and points upward. And then
we probably shouldn't leave we probably should. He lowers his voice a bit. We probably shouldn't leave a boy who we just liberated from being locked in an attic. We probably shouldn't just leave him in an attic by himself. So he turns to Wyla and he says, "Wyla, will you please go keep an eye on the boy? Just make sure he doesn't get in any trouble."
Yeah. Let me see something here. You can continue. I'm gonna have Wyla roll for something as well.
So Martha would actually turn to Signy and say, "Hey, you still have that truck? I'll take it up to him or whatever." I guess we determined it wasn't a truck, but
Yeah, like a train.
the train.
Toy.
Full
You
train.
You still have the
Train.
train. I'll take it up to him with Wyla.
Yeah, she takes off I think she put like as many toys as she could fit in her pockets. Is like a sure, here you go.
She'll dissect that instead of spiders.
In hindsight, we should have brought some clothes from his chest.
Brought all this other stuff. No clothes.
Yeah.
That would have been good, but honestly, we really need to think about what we're doing in the near term here. We are not safe here. We need to get out. We need to go.
We are not safe. The church, when I was outside, I noticed a couple they're quite subtle, but they're watching the church. So
Damn
it's a
it.
good it's a
Alec,
I'm confident that we're ahead of any pursuit, but it will get back probably relatively quickly. They're still there, so it's not like they've reported back. They're probably just watching our comings and goings. So it's not like they're running off to say, "Hey, we saw something." They don't know what we've done, so we have a little bit of time, but we cannot go back out the front of the church. The back seems to be safe, so we can get out of here, but we can't stay too long.
William and I
Okay.
have discussed this some, and we think it might be best if we abscond with the boy and take him to Philadelphia to William's home. Unless any of you have any better ideas.
I don't know that I have a better idea, but
he can't stay
taking
here.
the boy to family members might put them in danger. As someone who has put his own family in danger in the past unknowingly, that's top of mind for me. Seems like if we want to get him out of town, it's better to take him back to the manor. If we need someone to watch and take care of the child, we can always hire a nanny, someone who is well versed in child rearing, as it were. But I don't think it's safe to leave them with your family. I don't think it's safe for your family.
William, I think he's right. We wouldn't want to put my aunt and uncle in this kind of danger.
I don't mind so much, but yeah.
But also,
He doesn't have a great relationship with his parents.
but also,
So,
we don't know. We don't know if they're actually going to be in danger or not, and it's people that you would trust versus hiring someone completely that we don't know.
living with a nanny
Just for the
in the
fact
manor
that
is
we don't know them, it's okay to put them in danger, possibly.
Presumably, the manor has some protections that
Yeah, but
that my aunt and uncle's house would not have.
but Coven Crest is not a place for children. We don't even have plumbing.
Wait, plumbing.
we need to upgrade the manor for that.
Yeah.
After the hotel down here and all the niceties,
And
yeah, we need indoor plumbing.
And Alec, one thing Martha and I discovered when we were going to the attic, the Mother Superior that you knew, Mother Fournier,
Yes.
was that her name?
Yes.
She died 4 years ago.
That explains things. 4 years ago. Oh, that was.
And she looks like between the adults, and then because Alec told her about the letter that she sent, but she doesn't want to mention the letter
Mhm.
without Alec mentioning it, so she's like, whoever you heard from is the new one.
Yes, so as I thought, the Mother Superior, if she must be involved somehow. She knows that we were staying at the hotel then.
But she
I
doesn't
think it might be
know.
best. We must act now. I think I need to take Renee. I need to take Renee to the manor, and I'll stay there. I'll stay there with him until we have a better plan.
Well, I think you and William should go.
William?
The threat here is essentially the Mother Superior, right?
The Mother
That's
Superior, the
That we
police,
that
and
we
all of
know
the
of.
witches and werewolves. Right.
We remove the threat, there's no longer a problem.
We don't know.
I'm less worried about the police. They're not going to come all the way up to Philadelphia to track down a child that
I'm not
you-
too concerned with that.
was not previously claimed. He won't say any more than that, but
Do you
I think we
Mother
need to resolve
Fournier
our
would-
business here first.
Well, the child is if the child is who we think he is and what he will be involved in over the next 24 hours, then we're avoiding the absolute of the worst of the consequences. But there are still murders happening. There are still deaths. There are still things in motion. By removing the child, I think we avoid the most disastrous of consequences, which I feel is critically important that we do. But I don't think our business here would be concluded. But I do think I think we'd be avoiding the worst of the consequences.
I don't think our business is concluded because if they have one child, who's to say they don't have, for lack of a better word, a backup plan?
But that is possible. It does seem like this child has been the focus, though. Right? The Mother Superior herself, or at least some semblance of a Mother Superior, has taken a personal interest in this child, and this plan has been in motion for some time, at least with Renee here. But as you say, there might be others. We don't know.
Mike, Alec saw the smoke rising off of Renee's drawing, and Alec heard Renee quoting, I don't know what to call it, the poem.
That is correct. Yeah, he told it to you.
Yes. And Alec has noticed the unusual collectedness and calm of that Renee exhibits for
Mhm.
his age. Can I like roll something that would be like, I think, you know, if you have a child, you want to think that your child is awesome and is amazing and a good thing to add to the world. But I think there's like maybe some hints here that there's something uncanny about the boy. And so I want to roll to see if Alec might be afraid for their aunt and uncle. That is
Yeah, I think
afraid
there
related
is.
to the boy's ability to harm the aunt and uncle, not necessarily even other people. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely. I think. While yes, there is that hope as a parent, right? But I think in Alex's case, I think there is a little bit of a there's the aspect of like, oh, I know who this kid is and I need to protect him, but there's also a little bit of disconnectedness, right? Because you realistically you don't know this kid, so there's a little bit of objectivity that I think Alec can have, whereas a typical or traditional parent would not. So with that, I'm gonna have you roll straight up logic, maybe learning. I think I could take learning for this as well.
Uh,
I don't think bookworm applies to this, but I do think learning will apply here.
how can I not make a learning roll? Okay, look, I'm going to do this again. And the question is whether or not we'll talk about whether Alex should be angry or hopeless, but we're going to do that again.
Okay.
So
You rolled 6 5s.
what the hell? That's
That's
not
crazy.
right. Okay, one out of that. Okay, but still, all right. So should Alec be hopeless or angry?
I'll tell you what. Let me give you the information first.
All right.
Let me
Oh, I
answer
love
your
that.
let me answer your question. Then you can decide. Sort of on that note. Here's the thing. That kid ain't right. Objectively, right? I mean, taking the fact that he was raised in a church orphanage aside, he does not act like the other kids in the church orphanage. So we can kind of like rule that out as a reason. The other kids seemed at least well-adjusted, or at least degrees of well, whereas he seemed like the odd duck, and the other kids picked up on that because, you know, the playground is like the jungle. The kids picked up on his strangeness. So his strangeness is not unique to like you observing him. It is widely seen by his peers. He has been ostracized by peers based on that alone. His calmness, I think there's a desire within yourself to attribute his calmness, his like astuteness, the way that he is stoic, the way that he's more well spoken than you would attribute to a 5-year-old. And I think there's an aspect of yourself that desperately wants to attribute that to you. That you are these things, and therefore he should be these things also, right? I think there's the normalcy of parenthood, but I think at no point in any writing that you've stumbled across does a 5-year-old act the way that he does. Maybe 10, maybe preteen, maybe in that vein, that's kind of where you'd be looking for that, but he's acting like he is far more adult than he is, or that he understands the world in a capacity that a 5-year-old should not. You absolutely get the sense that there is something going on with this kid that goes beyond like goes beyond any sort of like he was raised strange, he's just an odd duck. There's something more going on with this kid that like sort of connects you to all of the supernatural rumors sort of swimming around this kid, that makes you think that while he is not currently a danger to himself or others, there is no evidence that he could not then become. from a scientific standpoint of like you reading books and your like erudite sort of transcendentalism ways, this kid is in a pivotal moment of nature versus nurture, and the one nurturing him to this point does not seem to have the best intentions, or at least intentions that would align with yours. So any semblance of will this kid be a danger to others, it will be determined by what happens in this moment, and that's kind of what you when you take a moment to sort of like think about that, that's kind of where you land. Is that if he is not treated better or shown the good parts of things, he very well could be a danger to others.
Thank you again, William, for your excellent offer. I think I need to do what is best here, and I need to leave immediately. I need to take the boy to the manor. Thank you all. I think you should all stay here to take care of the issues that remain here. And then Alec will turn and head up to the attic to collect the boy.
So Martha wanted to do something upstairs when they were talking.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay. So when everybody was downstairs having their big conversation, Martha would have gone up with the toys from Signy and also the cracked opal thing. And so she is being very contemplative this entire like kind of trip. If anybody was paying attention, everybody would have noticed that she is very much in her head. She goes up into the attic and she sees the boy and kind of sits down and puts the toys out, kind of waits to see if maybe he'll come and play with her. She just kind of starts messing with them.
Yeah, I think he recognizes his toys, and he will, as he sees you sort of like sat there, he's sort of understood the game of placate the child, and he comes out with the toys and says, "Oh, you have my train.
We said we would bring your things."
Thank you very much."
"Well, you are welcome." And she's kind of plays with them for a little bit, and she feels like she can sympathize with the child because she has been remembering a lot of things from the Abbey, and she has been remembering when she went there, all the little desks and all the blackboard, the chalkboards and all the students, it all just kind of reignited a lot of memories of that time for her, and everything seemed. She expected it to look like when she was a child, but it didn't. It looked like an adult going back to like, the place you went in kindergarten. Everything is smaller and it just doesn't feel the same. But she kind of flashed back to the first time she remembered she tried to start writing and the automatic writing took over. And all the nuns, were horrified and threw her in an attic for a week. And that happened like multiple times. And so she feels kind of a kinship with this boy that was also locked in an attic or kept away from the other kids, right? Because she was also after, she was also kept away from the same learning that the other kids had because with her automatic writing, they couldn't like give her paper anymore. So
Yeah.
she wasn't allowed to do the same things that the kids were doing. So she's kind of playing with the kid and she's, with the toys and kind of in silence for a while. And she says, I grew up in that abbey too.
Oh,
I did, and just like you, I also was a little different. I sense that maybe you're a little different than the other kids.
the other kids don't get the same special training that I get, or the special lessons that I get.
Mm. I didn't get the same lessons as the other kids either. Well, I got less lessons than the other kids.
Oh, I get more.
Do you like them?
Well, I find them interesting. They're different than the regular lessons that we get um, um, about God and the saints. They're I don't really know. They're just different.
She notices all the little spiders that are, chopped up. And she kind of wonders, because she's got this automatic writing thing that's weird, and he's doing weird things with spiders. And she's almost wondering if it's sort of like part of a special ability that he has or something, or a special, power that's related to him chopping up small things. So, she says, she kind of looks at the spiders and she says, "Why did you cut up the spiders?"
I wanted to see how the first one worked. And then sometimes when you take the legs off, the legs still move. And sometimes when you take them off, the body still moves. And I wanted to understand why some legs move and some legs don't move, and some bodies move and some bodies don't move. I haven't figured it out, but I did run out of spiders.
Seems logical. Is that part of what you were studying?
No, I was given these, and he holds up the hemostat, and he says, and I was told to play with this, and I wasn't really sure what to do with that. And then I found one spider, and then I got curious, and I just sort of took it apart.
She switches tacks a little bit and pulls out that cracked opal thing and puts that down with the rest of the toys. She said and asks, was this part of your studies?
Oh yes,
What is
that's
it?
that's my pendant.
Is it broken?
No, why would you think that?
Well, it looks like it has a crack in it.
Oh no, that's what it looks like. It always had a crack in it.
Oh, what do you do with it?
Well, I guess the same thing people do with their necklaces with Jesus on them.
You pray with it?
Yeah, we say we say things that are like prayers. Yeah.
Is it magic like Jesus rosaries?
Are rosaries magic?
I think they are.
Um, I I guess I guess it's no more magic than anyone. Well, no, I think yes, it could be magic. When when we have when we do our religious studies, we're told that we should pray to God and confess the bad things we did and ask for forgiveness and hope that He will do good things in the world. When Sister Margot and I do our thing, it's kind of the same. But when we do it, sometimes things actually happen. So, yeah, it's like magic.
What sorts of things happen?
Well, I guess it depends on what we ask for. Well, and also who we ask for, and also when we ask for it, and I guess it depends on their if they want it to happen or not. I guess.
What
I'm not
sorts
really
of
sure why it
things-
happens, but some things happen.
What sorts of things have you asked for?
Well, there are some boys at school who are not nice to me, and sometimes I ask for them to have nightmares, and sometimes they have them. Um, and then sometimes there's days where it's supposed to be an outside day, and I don't want it to be an outside day, and so I've asked for a storm, and then we didn't have to play outside for days. Um, yeah, things like that.
That sounds pretty cool. I wish I could do that.
I think you can. I can show you.
Okay. How would you make it rain outside?
Oh, okay. Here. And he like gets like he positions himself, more in front of you. And he if you're holding the pendant, he just takes the other end of it that's in your hands. And he says, it's like it's kind of like praying, right? So just you know you have to say what I say, like a prayer. Is that okay?
Try it.
And he begins to essentially walk you through a prayer. Um, before before you actually begin following this child through prayer, what is going through Martha's head right now? As arguably the most religious character here, what is the most religious investigator? What is going through Martha's mind as this happens?
I think she's still somehow relating this kid's power to her automatic writing, and she's scared of her own automatic writing, but she also is starting to believe maybe it's not as evil as she's always believed it was, because she's starting to get a little bit more perspective about her time in the Abbey and how they treated her, because as she gets older, she's starting to understand maybe she shouldn't have gotten locked in the attic for, automatic writing, because that probably wasn't cool. So I think at the moment she's just curious. And I think that's more or less kind of clouding her, maybe putting two and two together, that when the kid's talking about prayer, it might not be the same sort of prayer that Martha's thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think it starts that way, right? But everything he's doing, everything everything you're doing seems like the way you would like pray. Like you have like what is essentially a rosary. You're like knelt in that like position of deference. And I think there's that moment where like you let yourself get lured in because you're disassociating this what this kid is saying to what you consider to be real. And he says, okay, so you just say what I say. And he starts to recite a prayer. And he says, "Oh, breath before dawn, still my trembling soul." And then he kind of like raises his eyebrows at you as if he's expecting you to follow along.
Oh, breath before dawn, still my trembling soul. It sounds nice so far.
In your hush, I rest between what was and what must come.
In your hush, I rest between what was and what must come.
You are the pause in the beating heart,
You are the pause in the beating heart,
the shiver in the still air,
the shiver in the still air,
the silence that speaks of endings wrapped in new beginnings.
the silence that speaks of endings wrapped in new beginnings.
Let no word rise before you breathe it.
Let no word rise before you breathe it.
Let no light fall until you will it.
Let no light fall until you will it.
I wait in your shadow,
I wait in your shadow,
quiet and listening,
quiet and listening,
for the sky to split
for the sky to split
and truth to burn.
and truth to burn.
Until then, hush the world.
Until then, hush the world.
And I think at this moment we see Alec's head pop up above the ladder as Renee says, "Breath before dawn, let your silence fall over me." And outside the church, we see the first few drops of rain hit the warm sidewalk. And that is where we end episode 39 of Mundus Novus.
What was Willa doing?
Panicking! She grew up in a cult!
Yeah.
WTF!
She's like, I'm gonna
Wide-eyed in the corner.
I think we see Alec peek up as we watch Martha and Renee in prayer to an ancient unknowable thing, and I think we see Alec pop up and just look, and there's Willa just standing there, and she looks down and goes, and then the first few drops of rain patter.
This is clearly an Old Testament prayer. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
I haven't learned that one yet.
So that is a wrap for episode 39, Blood of My Blood, and that took some directions that I don't think anyone expected. Hell yeah, I'm jazzed about this. To see where this goes from here. Let's go around, do our introduction so that we can get the hell out of here. Do our stars and wishes in our after show. And if you want access to this after show, go join us on Patreon. Link in the description down below. You get access to all of the after shows for this show and all other shows for the last 5 or 6 years at the $5 tier. It is worth your time if you want some behind the scenes looks at the game, mechanics, the players, introspection into their characters, and just a fun time. So let's start. Let's start with our newest cultist, Wintress. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I am Wintress Odom. You can find me on the internet by Googling my name because there are not a lot of us floating around. I am up to this and a game that we have on Friday night, and that's pretty much it. I work a lot. That's what I do.
Hell yeah. Next up, let's go to the one who spawned the new Messiah. Melissa, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Well, I didn't spawn the new Messiah, though. I don't know. Maybe one of my children could count as that. I don't know. Okay.
No.
Who am I? I'm Draftier. You can find me as Draftier in the Discord and here playing this game. And sometimes I play in the one shots as well. I think that's it. We're also, I don't know, maybe it's too early to talk about. Some of us that are in this game are also talking about playing a game of Blades in the Dark on my channel, which doesn't exist yet, but we might be doing that. That would be coming sometime in August, maybe September. And you can otherwise find me on my website, gameswithstories.com.
Is your Twitch Games with Stories also?
It doesn't exist yet, but it will be. Games with Stories.
There is one that exists.
Uh-oh.
Just so you know.
I might have already made it some years ago, so we'll see, maybe.
Okay. All right. Go check out twitch.tv/gameswithstories. And hopefully that's the right one. A nice gesture offering to take on parenthood of the new Messiah. Matt, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, I am Matt Vaughn in the Discord. These days, it's normally it was just WoW, but then both Mike and Melissa dragged me kicking and screaming into Dune. And no, actually, that's where I spend most of my time.
King and
So-
We're not sorry about it.
Oh yes,
He's
kicking and
not
screaming.
really. He's not kicking or screaming. No.
Yeah.
He
Not
was like,
anymore,
no,
no.
no,
Okay, we're
the desert, the worms, no.
I need humidity. I know. That's
Yeah.
but yeah,
Hell yeah.
I will probably be on Games with Stories with Melissa when it gets started, if that's the
Hell
right
yeah.
channel.
Absolutely. Also kicking and screaming into the deserts of Dune. John, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hey, I am John. I go by Ask Why or Esky in the Discord. Yeah, online. Also playing Dune Awakening with some of these fine folks. Beyond that, I would say I just am currently suffering from the frightened condition from this entire episode. So there you go.
Yeah, I feel that. And last but definitely not least, just taking all the weirdness in. G, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hello, I'm the friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You can find me in all things unmade gaming, either modding or playing in all the Patreon content. Yeah, I'll keep that brief. Don't want to go into everything. You can find me in the Discord all the time. And yeah, that's it.
All the
Hell
time.
yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel like this after show is going to be a juicy one. So as I said, if you guys want access to this, Patreon link in the description, go join us over there. This one's going to be a doozy. And I think we're going to talk about the future of this this campaign, where we go from here, how this shakes out. So that's it from all of us. We will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. So from all of us to you, bye-bye.
Bye.